fly ass chicks who paint them pretty ass lips. For them trap boys out doubling up on bricks. For musicians like myself that was blessed with a gift. Just to rap with a pack and see what it is. Swerving through traffic like I lost control of the whip. Hurt the competition like I ran over these bricks. Double lines mean nothing when you're hugging the bridge.
Welcome to Talk US Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Dennis Holmes, and I'm here with a cast of ballers today. I want to say a cast of ballers. Let me start off by introducing my co-host because I just noticed everybody changed their name in here and shit done got a little bit crazy. Let me start off by introducing my co-host from the Atlanta Falcons, straight out of the ATL, Ron Thomas. How you feeling today, Ron?
Good, man. I'm blessed, man.
Can't nobody hear you, man. What you say? What?
I feel good, man. I'm blessed.
Okay, blessed to be. That's what's up. Listen, man, I got my boy in the building, man. Donovan Samuels, and for some weird reason, he think the Lakers are going to win it. Donovan, let everybody know how you feel, man.
I'm feeling good, man. Back on lockdown here in Los Angeles, California, but I'm here quarantined on the Zoom on Facebook, talking sports with my dudes. So, so let's get it going.
Okay. I got my guy here for the second week in a row. Dallas Oliver's in the building. Pats Nation. How you feeling, Dallas?
I feel like I'm ready to bring the noise like Cam Newton.
Ooh. Okay. Is that really bringing the noise? But
okay. I guess you ain't heard Cam Newton's new interview. That's why you're saying that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I also got my boy Pylon in the building. We both Eagle fans, but he's a little bit of a weird one.
Well, damn.
Yes, sir. Just trying to survive day by day. Not many sports going on, but I got my UFC, so I'm content until football. And even if there isn't football, so.
That's right. Also got my favorite Giants fan in the building. If there's anybody out there that talks more trash than me, it got to be my guy, Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams is in the building.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Gargamel's in the house, and let's rock and roll it.
Gargamel! All right. We also got Frazier in the house from the Devil's Advocate.
What's good?
He came in to join us on Talk US Tuesday. He don't know, but Talk US Tuesday is on a whole nother level.
I get that. I kind of got it from the title. But look, I'm going to let y'all know right now. I was minding my own business. I just got off the road, I'm doing a project I had to do. And he tagged me for about the third time on this show. So guess what, America? I may say some things that might offend y'all. I might say some shit that might not. But whatever happens, it's his fault.
It's my fault. We on the FCC air. I just want to let you know before you go into anything crazy on this show, Frazier. We're sponsored by the OnPoint network over here and the FCC airways. So some things on this show we cannot do.
Well, I got that part. As soon as you said FCC, I already knew.
So I wanna start things off the right way, man. Let's get right into it. Get my stuff together. Let's just see where everybody is.
I gotta say, a second ago, I didn't know who the hell Gargamel was, and I'm actually very close to crying from tears from looking it up. I never knew.
Listen.
I had to mute my mic.
Baseball is coming back in about a couple of days, right? So since it's coming back, let's talk about some old school baseball. Let's just talk about it. If the 95 Braves played the 01 Arizona Diamondbacks, I want everybody to let me know who would win. Since the Braves are your team, because you everywhere, literally all over the damn USA. You got.
What are you talking about? I have a team that. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
You like the Lakers, you like the Las Vegas Raiders, you like the Atlanta Falcons, and
I like the Falcons.
My fault. You like the Atlanta Braves, and you're probably a closet Dallas Mavericks fan. Let you know it.
Oh wow!
Nah, man,
that was a random pull.
Right?
Yeah, that was random. He just said something and it didn't really make sense. But anyways, as far as this slide, I mean, I'm gonna have to be biased and go with the 95 Atlanta Braves. I think when you look at it, when you look at the overall pitching, You had Maddox, you had Glavine, and you had Smoltz. And then you had Chipper Jones, you had Fred McGriff, Ryan Klesko, David Justice, Marquise Grissom. I mean, that was a lineup, man. I mean, that was a star-studded lineup. And with the pitching, I mean, and on top of that, who they beat. They beat that Indians team they beat in 95. They should have won many of titles. They just couldn't get over the hump because it was Cleveland.
They should have won that one.
They should have won that one. They had Albert Bell, they had Manny Ramirez, they had Omar Vizquel. I mean Sandy Alomar. I mean that lineup right there was the best in baseball for a good 4 or 5 years in the 90s by far. They had Jim Tomey on that team too. All those players were young in their prime, and their pitching was a little bit kind of shaky. They did have Chuck Nagy, who was like their ace, but overall, I just think the pitching with the Braves, it just kind of outduels Arizona. Even though Arizona, I mean, they had Randy Johnson, but I think overall balance, I'd have to pick the Atlanta Braves.
Did they have Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling, or no?
No, just Randy Johnson and Byung-Hyun Kim. That was their all-star and pitcher at the time.
Okay, so who do you like, Frazier?
All right, so I got the Braves, but not for the reasons he said. Because first of all, if Charles Nagy hadn't blown Game 6, we wouldn't be talking about the Braves. We'd be talking about the Indians instead. I'm pretty sure.
I know,
Cleveland's in the house though.
Wait, game six, Glavine threw a one shutout.
I thought that was Game 6.
They won 1-0 in Game 6.
Okay, I thought it was
a David Justice home run. So,
okay,
so
yeah, that's my
bad. That was Game 5. Game 5 or Game 4 where they blew a game. They blew a game.
Charles Nagy. Yeah, Charles Nagy blew that game. He wanted that series though, but he's right for the simple fact that they had all the pitching in the world and hitting to go along with it. Now the Braves at that time, the Braves hitting kind of struggled in the playoffs. I mean, they had, it was on and off, but they had enough pitching to last. They helped them, win that World Series. Arizona, I don't know. It's kind of, they remind me of the Florida Marlins team that won it.
Yep.
I just kind of one-hit wonders. I mean, even though, like you said, they had some studs on their team too. But Florida also had a couple of people like Jeff Conine, and I think Livan Hernandez was their ace pitching. And that was so. I got to give the A's or at least not the A's. I'm sorry, the Braves. I got to give them the edge.
Okay, Ricky Williams, how you feel on this, Ricky? Gargamel, not there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was.
Come on, I'm laughing.
I hate to say this. I really hate to say this, but the Arizona Diamondbacks would clip the war feathers of those 11.
That's what I'm talking about. You gonna they're gonna take a T-shirt. Keep talking like that.
Okay, so why?
Okay, I can name 3 players right now. Ready?
Randy
Johnson.
Okay.
Kurt Schilling, and the man himself, the one that won that World Series for that team, Luis S. Gonzalez.
They said Kurt Schilling wasn't on that team.
He was.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought he was on that team.
He went like 22-6, and Randy Johnson went 21-6. I just looked it
I
up.
thought that was the reason why they won, because they both teamed up. I thought that's what
they both teamed up, but the overall better team was the Braves. And you could look at their rosters, you could look at the overall production throughout the season, and the Braves were more consistent. And the Braves, it wasn't a one-hit wonder. It was building up. They had a lot of disappointment prior to. They lost to the Twins. They lost to the Blue Jays. They lost to the Phillies in one of the MLB, the NL championship. So I mean, it was a progress that they were kind of working up to. So I think it was a build up, and when they added a crime dog, they kind of took off that season, man. So.
Had they lost to the Yankees yet, or was that later? Because I know the Yankees beat them in one World Series.
The Yankees beat them the next year. That was when they got Andrew Jones, and they were up 2-0 and then the Yankees came back and beat them 4 times in a row, and then the Yankees beat them again later on in the 90s. I think 99, I believe too.
Yeah, that's
right,
my
so here's a
team. So
question for you.
I know a lot that they won a lot in the 90s, but it gets a little bit fuzzy because of how many they were in and how many they won in the 90s.
Right.
I think
the Yankees?
The 95. I would take the 95 Braves because from what I do know about that time frame, I mean, obviously the fact that they had Chipper Jones at that point, he was the definition of the player back then. If you made a mistake, any kind of mistake pitch, he would take advantage of it. And pitching wins championships. And when your 3 is Glavine, Smoltz, and Greg Maddux, it's kind of, I mean, I hate to use the Houston Astros as an example for anything because of pitch, but I think you can use their pitching as an example because their pitchers weren't affected by their scandal. It was their hitters. You look at their pitchers, that was all just talent and ability to overpower and overwhelm that. And when you've got Verlander, Greinke, McCullers, and Garrett Cole, obviously the biggest one, pitching wins championships. So I think the Braves would have won for that reason.
Okay, all right.
You're a Yankees fan?
Okay.
What
about
Hold on, Ricky. Ricky, hold on. As a lifelong born and raised New Yorker, I can't accept your Yankee and Patriot dual fanhood. Cannot accept it. There's no way. It can't happen.
Up, and I only got CBS. They showed Yankees games on there sometimes, but not Red Sox games because I'm in Vermont, and they only showed Patriots games on there. So when I started watching, I picked the teams that I would be able to watch if I didn't have cable.
So you're from Massachusetts.
Oh, that's smart.
No, I'm from Vermont, born and raised here.
Oh, yeah, Vermont. Okay. So it makes sense. The
watched-
Patriots make sense, but
Yeah.
no, I'm just messing with you. But in New York, if you're ever both of those teams, it doesn't fly. It's funny. Boston's just even crazier though.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now we got the next one. We have the Yankees of 1998, and we have Boston 2004. Now, Dallas, I would ask you, but I know where you're going with this. So I want to start this off with Frazier. Frazier, where you at, Frazier?
Give me the 98 Yankees because the 98 Yankees were dominant over a period of time, beating these Red Sox constantly. Red Sox that year, well, you know, they were 1 or 2 games away from losing it all or still having that curse.
Arguably one of the best comebacks in a series ever, man.
It was. I can't say that. I can't say that, but I mean, think about it. They had to come back. The Yankees, not so much.
True.
So
okay, Ricky Williams, where you at, Ricky?
right here, and that sickens me to say it because every time my team plays them, they always lose because it's the Yankees. So there's my answer: the Yankees.
Oh man.
Mariano Rivera versus whoever the heck their closer was in 2004.
Right. Who knows?
Okay.
Damn, I know this.
That's
It'll come to me. I don't want to look it up either because I know this.
all right. Well, tell me what you think, though, Lakers.
Oh, over this. See, I like this Boston team because this was the Boston team that I liked. Like this was like the Boston team that finally made their mark. But I mean, if you look at overall talent and just from the beginning of the season to the end of the season and just the overall domination.
This is Pedro's team, right?
Huh?
This is Pedro.
It's Pedro, but
This
this 98 Yankees team, they didn't have to overcome a lot of controversy and a lot of adversity. They just smacked everyone's ass. Excuse my French. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's not really a bad word, right? Because they have that on their shirts. So.
No, ass ain't a bad word.
All right, cool. Because we got shirts and it says that on there. So I'm just saying. But yeah.
The classic.
Overall, I think I have to go with the 98 Yankees just because the domination they had from start to the end of the season through the playoffs. The Red Sox is a good story. Arguably one of the best comebacks ever in a series, but I mean you got to go with the Yankees. During that time frame, they were pretty much unstoppable.
Pylon to pylon, what you got?
I only remember really watching the 04 Red Sox. So that's where I'd be going.
All right.
Dallas, as a Yankee fan?
Dallas, do you want to say?
I'm not a Yankee fan. I don't like any New York teams.
Oh, damn.
Can I say the 98 Yankees without being a homer?
Nah.
No.
He's still a homer.
No.
Well, you look at the 98 Yankees lineup, the only arguable weak spot in that lineup was probably Chad Curtis in left field. When you have Paul O'Neill hitting in the 8-hole, and I mean that right there speaks to the depth of your lineup when you can afford to have a guy like Paul O'Neill hitting that low down in your order.
Hall of Fame.
Right off the bat, you're getting struck with Jorge Posada, and you got to worry about Tino Martinez right before Jeter comes up. I mean, that's the perfect lineup balance.
And they had Bernie Williams too.
Yep, Bernie Williams and
So
Joe Girardi.
So y'all don't think that Pedro would have got to him in '98?
Ooh, I don't know.
I
don't know.
I mean, because this Pedro was on fire right here.
He was.
The Pedro we got with the Phillies was fucking noodle arm, but this one was on fire.
Which was the one slightly
the Red
older?
Sox during that year. The later Yankees teams, some of those guys started to age and weren't on the team anymore. The ones that started to age still had a track record of being able to get to Pedro.
Well, not only that, and I think once these players started to age, that is exactly why the Red Sox won that series. It was at the tail end of that run, but that 98, like that was the beginning of that awesome run the Yankees had in late 90s and early 2000s. So
and Joe Torre was managing the 98 Yankees team too.
Yeah.
Cinderella teams are nice, but when you got a team that comes out and smacks everybody around like that, Cinderella's gonna stop at some point.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I like this one.
In the house without a
Is that
doubt.
93?
No, 95 both.
I wanna.
Yeah.
Me personally, who am I taking? I'm taking the Seattle team. That's just me personally. All right, I'm taking the Seattle team. But I want to see what everybody else got. Ricky Williams, what you got on this, Ricky Williams?
Since we're in my division,
oh shit,
the 95 Indians.
Dude, you can't. That team was unbelievable. I'll wait till my turn, but
yeah, let Ricky go.
The reason I'm saying that because you got Speed. You got Speed at the leadoff hitter with Kenny Lawson right there. You got Albert Bell and Manny Ramirez in the same lineup.
And Jim Thome.
Yeah, and a 75-year-old Jim Thome. Yeah.
Right.
But I will give the 95
after the next one.
Here's something. They had King Griffey Jr.
Okay, now that's the same year too. I wonder if I wouldn't know offhand, but did they play each other?
Yeah.
The Indians beat them 4-2 in the ALCS that year.
Yeah, this was after they beat I think in the
Didn't somebody get injured? Oh no, I'm not tripping.
No.
Oh, I'm not tripping. All right. Go ahead. Keep going with what you were saying.
Who, me or somebody else?
Donovan. Sorry about that.
Oh, I mean, I actually love this Mariners team because you had Randy Johnson. I mean, I think the pitching was a little bit less because all they had really was Randy Johnson. I believe that same season they played a really good series with the Angels, and I think they came back and won that series, and they lost either that year or the year before or the year after. That team was just sick. I mean, you had that year. I mean, I think Alex Rodriguez came up as a rookie on the Mariners. You had Jay Buhner. You had Tino Martinez. You had
Edgar Martinez. Edgar Martinez.
You had Edgar Martinez. I'm sorry. Edgar Martinez. I mean, and that dude was like him, Jay Buhner, Ken Griffey. Those three. It was just a tough out, man. It was a tough out. And then you had Randy Johnson. The only reason why I give the Indians a little bit edge, I just think they had overall more depth. They had more players, and the pitching. Yeah, the pitching was a little bit better for the Indians. And like I said, that Indians team, I mean, like that lineup top to bottom was like arguably one of the best lineups I've seen growing up at being a baseball fan. I think they won. I mean, they won like 100 and I think they won 100 and like 12 games that year or something like that, and a ridiculous number of wins. But yeah, I had to give a slight edge to the Indians just because they have more overall depth.
Frazier, I know you're gonna be a homer on this one.
Oh man, no, I'm not.
Oh.
I gotta give it to the Mariners.
Oh,
because the Mariners just flat out had talent. I mean, in every facet of the game. I don't know what happened, that year, but it just wasn't a time, I guess. But I mean, they had. Go ahead.
No, I just thought that their coach Hargrove was not that good, man. I mean, he made a lot of questionable calls, and in baseball, it's one simple call or one simple mistake. You leave a pitcher in too long, you put the wrong batter in. I just think he just kind of got on the bad end of the stick on that. But overall, I just thought the coaching for the Indians when the game got tight, Hargrove didn't make those critical decisions to give him an opportunity to win.
Yeah, and that's why that Seattle team had Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about that. I mean, he is all.
Yeah, they were better coached. I would say that for sure.
On that, and I mean, they hit the most home runs I think that year as a team. They hit like 200 of them was hitting the stadium. They called it the Temple of Boom that year. So I'm going with the Mariners. So we got an echo too.
That was my echo, my fault.
Sure.
I hit the wrong button. That was my fault with the echo. We're gonna go to the last slide.
Wait, did you get Dallas or no?
Did I what?
Dallas, did you go?
He was he picked it. I don't know.
I didn't pick on the Indians Mariners.
Oh, my fault. Dallas. Who you got?
That's all right. I think I have to go with the Indians. The Mariners might have had. I mean, yes, the Mariners had talent, but I think you look at the Indians starting lineup, and it goes back to I'm not sure what his name was, but the Lakers guy. He said they have more overall depth. Dave Winfield was on that Indians team as DH. He is on the bench. Sandy Alomar was on the bench as a general role. When you have those two guys as your bench players as options, because you have so much depth in your starting lineup that they can't even crack it, depth and pitching is what wins for me. And I think the Indians just had way too much to overpower the Mariners.
Before you go to the next person, Dallas, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on that one. They had them on their bench because they were 118 years old.
Okay.
What were they possibly going to do?
Players that are ancient can still be effective.
Okay.
That's true.
Fair enough.
Unless your name's hereditary, then you can't.
41-year-old Drew Brees, 43-year-old Tom Brady, just Wayne Gretzky, however the hell he was when he finally hung it up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Julio Franco,
Yes, that name just popped in my head.
56 years old.
Julio Franco.
61, and he's in a bat still.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Are we ever going to read these comments or what?
I'm gonna read the comments after this one. I said after this one we're gonna read the comments. I said after the last slide. This is the last slide.
You had the Bill Buckner Miracle Mets.
Where'd it go?
Versus the 2016 Cubs. You know what? I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Cubs on this one, man. That team was pretty loaded. I think they did capitalize off that rain delay in that game.
No, we did.
Indians. But yeah, that team, you had Chris Bryant. I mean, that team was just clicking on all cylinders the whole year. I mean, it was just one of those teams that just were good from start to finish, and you knew you had something special there. They brought your boy Theo Epstein over there. He kind of reconfigured things. Started for the bottom, got Anthony Rizzo, and then just kind of build around him. And then you just drafted well, and I think that team just came together at the right time. But kind of like that '98 Yankees team, was good from pretty much start to finish. Even though in the World Series they went to a Game 7, they were able to capitalize off of that, like I said, that rain delay, and they came through and won. I mean, simple as that.
Okay. All right, Dallas, what you got over there, Dallas?
I'm gonna go with the 1986 Mets. You know, obviously the 2016 Cubs were a feel-good story. They did capitalize off that rain delay. Yes, they overcame that 3-1 deficit. For me, that's more of an ultimate choke job by the Indians not being able to finish, rather than
What's the Indians?
just an amazing comeback. Like, it's an amazing comeback, but it was aided by the ultimate choke job. When you have Bill Buckner with that one play that the ball went through his legs, the series was still winnable the next game for the Red Sox, and they couldn't get it done there either. So the Mets kind of had a lot less wiggle room to work with. Like, they were right up against it. And overall, I think that Mets team probably had more depth than the Cubs team, because the Cubs were kind of great, good on offense and good on pitching, but there was not ever one run in the lineup where there was like 4 or 5 players where you were like, oh my God, how are we going to pitch through that? It was all kind of like, okay, that player's good. If we can get him out, we can get the next one out. With that Mets team, it was a little bit scary at times when you get runners on base there. There was some times that you didn't want to have runners on base, a certain guy coming up, especially Gary Carter leading off.
Yeah. Okay. Ricky, where you at, Ricky?
Well, I'm going to use a pun here. They finally got the goat off their back. Or wherever that was. I'm going to go with the 2016 Chicago Cubs. They finally did something to make Harry Carey proud. He'd be smiling down on him right now if he was still alive.
Okay. Pylon.
Never seen either of them play. I don't have a pick.
Good answer.
What
You
you
didn't see
born in
2016 Cubs,
2016 or what?
I don't watch baseball. I watched baseball from like 2000 to like 2010 and never again or never before.
Damn.
This is what I watched, like the last World Series game of that year.
And I'm promoting baseball this year. This baseball season,
Frazier,
if you're
what's
not
up?
a baseball fan and you don't like the long haul of the season, this is a perfect opportunity to watch baseball. It's only going to be 60 games. It's going to be condensed.
Well, there's going to be a lot of days crossed off where MLB will get no shine for me. So it's probably not very likely I'm going to turn on baseball, to be honest with you.
Not even on the playoffs?
I mean, there's a lot of UFC going on.
Playoffs?
There's a lot of other stuff outside of sports too. So, I mean, baseball, I don't see baseball fitting in for me. I don't know. I got bored of it
Watch the
after.
highlight breakdowns on YouTube from MLB, condensed games in 5 minutes.
Hey, if Matt don't want to, he's not a big baseball fan. Give him a break.
I can't. I try.
Yeah.
I always try to go back and I can't.
It's
tough.
cool.
I can't sit there for a game.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
All right. Give me the 86 Mets. I did go to a Chicago Cubs game in 2016, and that was pretty fun, being at Wrigley Field and everything. But the Mets, I mean, Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Gary Carter, Sid Fernandez, they had a lineup, that was pretty good, especially for that time. When they had, Major League Baseball had nothing but pitching.
Pretty much.
Because you couldn't hit hardly any pitcher then that was any good. Like Oil Can Boyd is another one that sticks out in my head. I mean, Brett Saberhagen in his prime, John Tudor, guys like that. It was a different era in baseball, which, now baseball is kind of watered down. So, and I think it was time for the Cubs to actually get one. So, I mean, I didn't really see, they're good because, well, they won the World Series, but I mean, that's about it. There's not any players that I'm probably going to remember 10 years from now. If I'm lucky to remember anything, actually. But It's just yeah. So I got to go with the '86 Mets.
Well, the reason I didn't pick them is because I was 3 years old when that team was around.
But there you go.
But the following year, or that year, my team went dead last, and in '87 they won a World Series. So go ahead, I'm good.
Right. You're breaking up like a motherfucker over there, Rick. But ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing out there? I'm gonna read some of the comments that I got too. Melissa's laughing, and she said, "Where?" Ricky said, "Rise up." BJ said, "Hey." Ricky Bobby said, "No Cub fan, but that team that year was fun to watch." Ricky Bobby also said, "Playoffs," and that's all I got on my end. Anybody else got anything different on there?
Nah, I don't got anything
Nope.
either.
Okay, all right. I want to thank everybody out there for watching. First and foremost, let me see. I do got some more slides coming up. There we go.
I choose 3.
You choosing 3, Ryan?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Why do you choose 3?
Because David Carr not that bad. He not. The team just need to put more around him.
I would agree with you on that in a sense.
Yep.
We talked about one of the best running backs in the game, but he cannot stay healthy. If they fix the old line in Jacksonville, maybe he will stay healthy and have a 1,000-yard season.
Ooh.
You know what? You have some good points. And I would probably go with 3 also as well. And reason for that being is that no. When Derek Carr played with Jared Cook, he was the guy. That duo was pretty much like one of the most dynamic quarterback to tight end duos that year. So I mean, that alone right there, I mean, that's a proven duo that you've seen. So I mean, and like I said, I'm always back and forth on Carr because I'm a Raiders fan. But if you look at what Carr has been through and the number of coaching changes and the different systems he's had to learn, I mean, he hasn't really been that bad. Could he have done better? Yes, but I think he messes up in critical situations. Yes, but I mean, the overall numbers are there. So I'm gonna give a slight S to number 3 because I've seen Derek Carr and Jared Cook play with each other. So I mean, and that was pretty good. So I think all these other ones, I don't think any of these guys played with each other. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
I'll see it.
All right. So that's why I picked 3.
Dallas.
Dallas, where you at, Dallas?
Now, for me, this is a really easy one, and it's definitely not 3. That would actually be the last squad I would pick. For me, I think number 1 jumps off the page as an easy choice. A lot of people want to sit back and hate on Sam Darnold, but as a Patriots fan, while playing against him twice a year, he's not nearly as bad as people think. He's actually, they want to say Josh Allen and Daniel Jones are a lot better. It's not true. If anything, Darnold may actually be better than Josh Allen, and that's a separate topic. But he's got a trash O-line, no help at receiver, an incompetent coach who doesn't know how to use Le'Veon Bell, and yet Darnold always puts up. I watch him; he makes great throws. He makes some bad throws, but I think his arm talent is there. He's gotten steadily better each year he's been in the league, and his numbers with worse weapons are better than Allen's with better weapons in Buffalo. You have arguably a top 5, if not top 5, top 10 back in the league in Dalvin Cook, who is explosive when healthy, but each player in this column has their injury concerns with Leonard Fournette and then obviously Carson Wentz in column 2. You have a top 10 receiver in the game in Cooper Cup, a proven game-breaking weapon for
Did
the
you
Rams.
say Cooper Cup was a top 10 wide receiver in the game?
Yeah, yes, absolutely is.
He is a top 10 wide receiver. Is Devon
Nobody
still-
gives any respect to Cooper
Devon,
Cup.
did you hear that, Devon? I ain't
Absolutely.
on the Cooper Cup train.
He's better than Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods. Cup is the
Yes,
unsung
he is, but
hero
I don't think
for
he's
him.
top 10. You think he's top 10 though?
I'd put him at number 10, like fringe 10. I said arguably. Keep in mind, I didn't say like absolutely hands down.
Okay. I would definitely put him in top 15, like for sure.
I think it's
But
fringe.
yeah, 10. I'm
It's
kind of like,
arguable.
eh.
It's fringe. Maybe
Cooper
11.
Cooper Cup or Jarvis Landry?
Cooper.
Cooper right now.
It's
And then you
Jarvis
got
Landry.
Henry at the tight
I
end
got
slot.
to go with Jarvis.
Has some injury problems, but out of the three, Cook is aging.
Jarvis is the most
and
underrated
Ingram is
receiver in
so
the league. It's
super
crazy.
inconsistent. I would take Hunter Henry over them. And I think Cook's the best running back out of those three. Wentz is too injured all the time for me, and Derek Carr is kind of so up and down and inconsistent. I wouldn't really trust him. I'll take the guy who is ascending.
But would you say Derek Carr is inconsistent because the number of coaching changes he's had over the years and the fact that
play a part in
That's
it.
got a lot. I think that got a lot to do with it.
That probably plays.
And
a
dealing
part
with a
in it,
torn leg.
but overall, when he's healthy, still, even when he's gotten those systems down, it still just seems like a lot of it comes down to he's not able to get it to the receiver. Like either underthrows it a lot, or it's a big
or drops the ball in the end zone.
Before him and Mariota tore their knees on the same day,
Yeah.
they were both on MVP pace for those 8 weeks.
Mariota was not on no damn
Wait a
MVP.
minute.
Go back and look. Go back and look.
Mariota was a
Not,
big
ain't nothing to look
prospect.
at.
I promise you. I promise you.
This is my
He
problem
played an MVP half of a season.
with Sam
Him and Derek
Darnold.
Carr at the same time, and then they tore their legs on the same day.
My problem with Sam Darnold, why would you come out and tell the whole world you see ghosts?
Well, he didn't say that to the whole world. To be fair, I think he forgot he was wearing the mic because it was a sideline conversation that he was having with a teammate after he threw like the third interception against the Patriots, and he sat down and his teammate looked at him like, "What are you doing?" And he just turned and looked at his teammate and he goes, "I'm seeing ghosts out there." And I think it was just meant to be you forget you're wearing the mic, and I think he was frustrated, and it was just meant for something for his teammate. It wasn't like he went to a press conference and went, "I see ghosts."
I don't know. He threw 3 picks.
He still
I
saw the
believe him.
ghosts, though.
I
Doesn't change him seeing
I
them.
believe him after 3 picks.
It doesn't change him
I
seeing the
mean,
ghosts. That's the real
You're
problem.
right.
It's a
That's,
question.
yeah.
It's not about how he said it.
As you know, I was going with number 2. You can say what you want to about my quarterback, but out of all those,
I was
quarterbacks,
going number 2 as well.
Dennis,
all of those quarterbacks, he's a winner.
Wow. I'm
Dennis?
so
All the
surprised.
teams have injury concerns, but so when you toss those out of the window, 2 is easily the best team. They have easily the best quarterback. That's for certain.
Now
Yeah.
they had an NFC playoff picture that they were predicting that could happen this season, and I want to introduce y'all to it, and y'all let me know what you think. This is the wild card. I want to give a shout out to Piggy's
Who?
podcast. I think it's called. I want to give a shout out to them.
Since somebody asked me, I'm going with number 2 because there's 2 Super Bowl winning players on that roster.
Who's number 1 in that? I don't see one.
I
You said
think,
because there's 2 Super Bowl winners on the Seahawks?
I think number 1.
I don't
I
see
never
one.
said Seahawks. Said number 2.
Number 1. I don't know who number 1 is.
The Saints, maybe.
The Saints was number 1. Yeah, my fault.
That looks like it. I agree with all of that, except I don't actually see the Eagles in the playoffs. I don't understand the Eagles hype train. I've heard a lot of people like on the Bills hype. I don't understand it.
Well,
You know
3,
what?
but 3
The team
years.
goes as far as Carson Wentz.
In
goes.
the words of the Dark
getting hot in
Knight,
the collar right now.
in the words of the Dark Knight, that's it. Kill the clown. All right.
you know what? I don't see.
I'm just saying. Not calling you a clown, Dallas. I'm just saying.
Go,
That's
go
it.
ahead, Ron.
I'm a Patriots fan who's still salty that Brady dropped the ball and Foles caught it. Of course,
I know.
I'm not going to see it for the Eagles.
I
Go
don't.
ahead, Ron.
I don't see Tampa Bay in the playoffs this year.
Oh,
I don't see it.
That's a stretch.
So who's going? The Falcons?
Wait a minute, because Tom Brady on a new team, yes or no?
Yes, he is.
Yes,
Yes or
he's
no?
got familiarity with
Tom Brady
Gronkowski.
got a new coach, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Quarterback friendly coach. Yeah.
It may take them a year to get on the same page. Yes or no?
No.
Maybe.
I don't know
Maybe.
because
I can say maybe. I'm saying maybe.
Nope. I'm saying
Bruce Arians
no.
is a
I
quarterback
disagree.
coach.
And this is why. Because you got to remember something. Tom Brady is a veteran.
Well, you gotta remember
You know what
something.
he's doing. And he'll be able to improvise.
You gotta remember something. This is not the same Tom Brady from 10 years ago.
Uh-oh.
This is the same Tom Brady from last year that threw a pick.
It's not the same Tom Brady.
In the right system with the right team around him, he can play very well.
The Super Bowl.
And once again, Tampa Bay has not fixed that O-line.
Yeah, they
You're
did.
wrong.
They did spend their first round pick on the best one in the draft.
You got one O-line.
Best tackle.
Ron, can I break this down for you a little bit?
I just broke it down to you.
But they win the division.
They improve their defense.
I mean, with me in regards to this, I think these are playoff teams. I mean, I don't think they went wrong with the teams at all. As far as the matchups, not quite too sure. But the teams are there. I mean, it could go either way. I think they got it right. Green Bay over Dallas. I mean, they pretty much dominated Dallas every single time they played them.
I don't even see Dallas being there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dallas makes it, but I don't think this is wrong. I think these are the teams that are going to be there in the end. So now the matches might be a little different, but those are the teams. So I agree with that.
I have big problems with this chart.
Really.
You got the Eagles. You don't even have the Niners in there. The Eagles, I
thought the Niners were the number one.
No, the Saints, because there's no one on there. So they would either be the Saints or the Niners.
It's
but if
both
it's
of them.
Then one of them isn't going to.
There's two number one seeds.
I know, but then
I
why
think
would
they changed it too.
Then they need to have 5 other teams, not the other 6, because that would make.
Or they added a wild card. I know that.
I know, but that makes 7 teams made it, right? Not 6, not 8, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm on.
I think what they're doing is, since they added the extra wild card, there's going to be only 2 division. There's going to be 2 first round buys, and then 2 divisional teams will play. Yeah, 2 wild card teams.
Somebody look that up so we have clarification.
But regardless,
I don't worry about having a season first.
Right, there's that. Let's get to that.
We need to think positivity around here in this time in life. We need positivity. Right? We need to talk as if it's going to happen.
This could be the biased Patriots. Well, I mean, the biased Tom Brady fan in me that he's gone.
Hey! I gotta read the comments. I know how we get long-winded, but I got a lot of comments. Hold on. Where we started at?
You started at
Melissa. Melissa said it was the 80s, early 90s, same basketball MO. BJ said Preston Williams versus Scary Terry. Yuri said number 2.
It was Devontae Parker, not Preston Williams.
Ron has been drinking Absinthe straight through Australia. I have no idea. Donovan said 2 is the squad. Detroit Lions said go Lions. That's all you know. Huh?
That's right. Go Lions. That's right.
Dallas.
Go where? Go where?
No Russell Wilson. He's better QB than all those QBs. Melissa also said number 2. Donovan laughed at the go Detroit joke. Donovan said, "Thank you, Dallas. Matthew Stafford is better than Dak Prescott. Has always been a Patriots fan with this youngster. Next time you do this, you need to include the freaking coach." You was talking about next time you was talking about Sam Darnold. Ricky Bobby said, Darnold, Russell Wilson is better. Yo, how many times? Never mind.
Calm down.
Devon said top 10 receiver, GTF OH. He was on point until he said that dumb S. Hey, what's going on?
Crazy.
You come, I never knew about this. Okay. I said, how come I never know about this? I'm sorry. April Thomas said, hey, Ron, what's up, April? I would like to say that I think DK would be up in the top 10 wide receiver in a year or two.
Hell no.
Ethan said, hey, guys. Melissa said, hey, April. Kenny G, top 5 after a year for Detroit Lions wide receiver.
Top 5.
Ricky
Whoa.
Bobby said, I'd have to go with number 3. Kenny G is a beast.
Yep.
And you let Ron talk. Squad number 2, in my opinion. Well, it's okay if he sees ghosts. I'm going to see.
What's
I'm
that?
going. I'm going to as well, Dennis. Thank you, Melissa. Ethan said I'm going to. Detroit Lions winning the North. Vikings and Packers not making the playoffs this year.
What?
If-
Who is that? Who is that guy and what is he
I
smoking?
can understand being a Lions fan, but
That was
come on,
Detroit.
man.
Hey! Quit
That was
talking
Detroit
crazy about my
Lions.
team.
No, I mean I like a lot of their players, but they're just not
Oh,
that
no,
great.
that's
of a
your
team.
team.
They are
They're
trash. But
Hold on. Y'all got. There's a lot of comments. Hold up.
We'll
Even
talk
though
after
the
this.
Even though the Bucks have Brady, I don't see them making the playoffs. Melissa said, "Yep, there it is again." Devon said, "Cooper Cup isn't even the best wide receiver on his own team." Hold on, I think he said some more. Oh, he lists his top 15 wide receivers. They got number 1 Hopkins, number 2 Michael Thomas, number 3 Julio Jones, number 4 Keenan Allen, number 5 Stephen Diggs, number 6 Odell Beckham, number 7 Amari Cooper, number 8 Chris Godwin, number 9 Tyreek Hill, number 10 Devontae Adams, number 11 Adam Thielen, number 12 Kenny Galladay, number 13 Mike Evans, number 14 Robert Woods, and number 15 is T.Y. Hilton. Melissa said, and
So now Robert Woods and 2020 T.Y. Hilton are better than Jarvis
you're
Landry.
a veteran doesn't mean you're going to mesh well with the coaching style, team, and not to mention there's his age. Ricky Bobby also said, okay, so the Vikes win that division. Bahaha. Detroit Lions said they went wrong with the Packers Vikings. They not making the playoffs. Here we go again. Devon said, and my list doesn't include AJ Green, AB, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Ethan said exactly. New team for the first time in 20 years. I don't see it.
Thank you.
Yes, but there's still familiarity with Rob Gronkowski. People fail to realize that.
Vikings not going to the playoffs without
But
Dalvin.
did not Grunt been injured for the last what?
0 years.
Melissa said me either. Ricky Bobby said I'm not sure if he cracks up top 15. If he cracks the top 15.
wow.
Kenny Galladay top 5 this year. Oh my God, how many times are you gonna say that? Vikings not going to the playoffs. Are you just hitting the repeat button or something? I don't see the Vikings going to playoffs without Cook, Kirk, Cousins. Trash without the beast of Cook. Okay.
But that's okay.
Buzzer beater.
Madison stepped up big time last year for the Vikings.
I put Evans at 12 and KG at 13. No Cook, Vikings trash. Do you see Kaepernick ever get on the NFL team again? No, I don't know about the Kaepernick situation, but I do love Kaepernick. But I don't know about the Kaepernick situation.
Yeah. When Carson Wentz gets hurt, they're gonna need a veteran backup.
We don't need a veteran backup. We got the big dog in the backyard.
Oh my God.
Before we get down this rabbit hole, back to the Lions.
Ain't nobody care about them Detroit Lions.
They're not in playoff contention.
Watch your mouth.
They
are not. They're trash.
They've got some good
That's my
players,
team.
though.
That has been my team since 1986, and they're trash. I'm telling
They've
you.
got some good players, though, I will say.
But they're trash.
Yeah, overall, they're not looking great right now.
Matthew Stafford is surrounded by trash.
Pretty much besides Galladay.
And the Ford Field is a dumpster. I mean, that's just how it is. The coach is just horrible.
Yeah, he's definitely not as.
He needed to have been fired before he was even hired.
In the show me and Dennis were doing.
And look, you know what? They need to write Jim Caldwell an apology letter and ask him to come back for
They
twice
do.
the money.
I totally agree with you on that. That was
Yes.
a bad move.
The Slay move wasn't bad.
I don't know about that. You
Before,
don't trade a top 5 corner.
Dennis,
You going with the top or the bottom?
Bottom.
Real quick, me and Dennis before this show were on Sam's Sports Show, and I had Jeff Fukuda this year being in my in a tie for top 5 NFC corners this year. I think he's going to be fantastic. I don't think he really downgraded much at all.
And I told you to stop smoking them rocks.
I mean, there's not a flaw to be found in his game. I'm sorry, it's tough.
Whose game?
Right now,
Jeff
anyway.
Fukuda.
Ain't no flaw in none of the rookies' games right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No. There's most rookies people find flaws in. He's one of those players. There's literally nothing, especially a cornerback.
Yo,
There's
if you
usually
don't
always
stop
at
with
least one
the
discrepancy.
balls, man, you killing me, man.
you know what other
I'm just
rookie
saying.
corner had no flaws in his game, supposedly? D. Milliner out of Alabama.
No, that's not true.
All right, so I'm going with the bottom here.
I'm going with the bottom.
This is tough for me.
Pat Mahomes is a game breaker, I think, for this.
Yeah, it's
That's why I'm
tough.
going with Patrick.
I would have liked
Mahomes.
Lamar Jackson instead of Tom Brady as a comparison.
Yeah.
Can we just make that manual substitution?
This is not tough for me. Everybody I like is on the top. All right.
Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes is such a difference, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a huge difference.
You can say that.
Let's
You
switch
can-
Brady
listen,
with Lamar
listen.
Jackson.
Wait, hold on, wait. You can say that, right? I'll give you that one. Patrick Mahomes wins that. I'll give you that.
By 3 miles, yeah.
You ain't telling me in nowhere that DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones is losing to Michael Thomas and OBJ.
That's
Ain't
not
nowhere.
that's not that far off, though. Nowhere near.
I'll let the Christian McCaffrey Saquon be a wash. That's a wash.
Kittle and
I'll
Kelsey
let
are
the tight ends be a wash. Those two are washes. But when it comes to the wide receivers, easy money.
So you think the gap? Hold on. You think the gap between Hopkins and Julio and Thomas and Odell is greater than Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
No way. No chance. No.
I mean, you could. Okay, you could say I would give the edge DeAndre Hopkins over Michael Thomas.
Hold on. Donovan, sorry to cut you off. Donovan, sorry to cut you off, but I gotta say this. Jared, the only reason we have this conversation is because there's an LSU guy here.
That's not true. Like I just said, I would give you the
if we
individual
substituted
matchup.
OBJ for Antonio Brown, and this was a year ago,
Nope.
the conversation would be different.
No, because I just said I would still individual matchups like we were just talking about. I would take Hopkins over Thomas, and I can give you Julio over Odell. No problem. The gap is just nowhere near the same as a gap between a Patrick Mahomes and a Tom Brady. No chance. In 2020, no chance.
I think the gap is the same. It's an easy win for
those
Patrick
4
Mahomes.
receivers are all top 6 to 8 receivers. No argument about it.
It's an easy
Tom
win
Brady,
for Patrick.
I don't think he's even a top 10 quarterback.
Tom Brady's a top 10 quarterback.
So what you're
He's
telling me?
number 4.
What you're telling me is 1 is greater than 6.
It's also the QB position you have to remember as well.
But for me, if you switch those Kittle and Kelsey around, bottom has it 100%.
No, I can't.
I think the Kittle Kelsey. I don't think there's a difference there.
You swap them, the bottom's weaker.
The Kittle Kelsey, I don't see a difference. The Saquon Christian McCaffrey, I don't see a difference. The biggest difference I see is at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, I agree.
The wide receiver and the quarterback
Could you
position.
stop either one of those two when you played them as your Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean, okay,
Stop who?
So
you know what? I forgot you're a little lower on Pat Mahomes. Never mind.
Okay,
I'm not low on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the man. But I'm not going to sit there and make it seem like Tom Brady didn't just take a team this year with minimal wide receiver.
Let's keep it real. A year ago, even though it was controversial, Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes, man. I mean, regardless. Okay, so I mean, obviously the overall talent with Mahomes, he's younger. I mean, he's the better one. But if you look at it, like Dennis said, the 2 wide receivers, Hopkins and Julio Jones, consistently have done it better, longer, and Hopkins has done it with multiple different quarterbacks. So I mean, Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at those two wide receivers against Michael Thomas and Odell Beckham, you got to give the edge to Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins. And Kittle and Kelsey, I mean, Kittle had a little bit better of a year than Kelsey last year.
Okay.
But who got the ring?
I just don't see the wide receiver margin nearly that big at all. They're all elite receivers.
Wow.
For me, I do this player by player, individual comparisons. Obviously, I'm a Brady guy, always will be. Mahomes, I can admit, hands down best in the league. That's an easy choice. That's one right there for the bottom. McCaffrey and Barkley, that's a wash. They're 1 and 2 in the league anyway, so take your pick there. I think Kittle and Kelsey, I don't think it's a wash like people are saying. I think it's Kelsey hands down. I mean, Kittle will get there, but right now it's Kelsey because of the consistency and the level that he's done it at.
They're 1 and 2.
Yeah. But I mean,
think it's the same as McCaffrey and Barkley.
Wait. You just said McCaffrey and Saquon are 1 and 2. Kittle and Kelsey are 1 and 2.
Yes.
The same thing.
It's the same thing. I think
they're both 1 and 2. But I said they're both 1 and 2. But McCaffrey and Barkley are so close together at 1 and 2 that you can take your pick. For me, with Kelsey and Kittle, they're 1 and 2. But there's more of a gap between Kittle and Kelsey.
What's the gap between Kittle and Kelsey? Oh, I got it. Patrick Mahomes is throwing to Kelsey. Kittle got fucking Jimmy
Kelsey's hands and his blocking.
They blocking is even.
I'll tell you who's not great at blocking, Saquon Barkley.
There's that.
If there's nothing different, there's nothing different between Kittle and Kelsey.
Point of trying to block.
That's not what I'm trying to tell you. There's nothing different between Kittle and Kelsey. It's the same thing as Christian McCaffrey and Saquon. There's nothing different.
I think they're closer together than Kittle and Kelsey are. That's just me.
So are y'all looking at numbers or intangibles?
I'm looking at talent.
That's what I'm looking at.
Intangibles. The things that you can't see, you know that they're So, I don't know, because it'd be a rough one for me. So I kind of think that this year would actually prove it, if you want to talk about those two.
All right, next one.
Ron, it's time for your hot topics.
We have a hot topic?
Let me read the comments while you hold on. Let me read the comments. They done loaded up on me. Hold up. They done loaded up on me.
Don't read the nonsense. If somebody says something 65 times, just say it once.
Let me see.
Especially when it's about the Lions.
Devon said, is Delvin Cook hurt or something? Dalton said, no, he's not hurt. Detroit Lions said, Delvin Cook wants money. Yuri said, Kansas City will have no money. Obviously, Yuri, you didn't see the contract. Robert Leader said, ain't nobody care. Donovan said, Dalton, I don't think so. Detroit Lions said, Swift and Jeff Okuda will be a beast for my Detroit Lions. Boy, you know what? I hope Detroit win 10 games. The way you talk.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Dalton said,
It's going to be so good.
Lions fans, you're not going to do
so
nothing,
good.
so just enjoy it.
DJ said, hey, Sand Sports. Donovan said,
It's Devon, not Donovan. Stop mixing our names up.
My fault. Devon said, whoa, top or bottom. Heavy
I think he does it on purpose now.
BJ smiles and put a fist up. I'm not saying that again. Yuri said, Dennis, your gift is still on the way. I don't want it. Devon said, I will go with the team on the top. I'm not saying that again. BJ said, he said Raven Sports. Joshua Billy said top. Dallas said top. Even though I don't like Brady, I will go with the top. Yuri said top. I'm not saying that. No. He did say something different. Kenny G deserves more money than Amari Cooper, and Kenny G is better. Devon said the team at the bottom would be the most fun to watch, but the team at the top would be the champs. Detroit Lions said, y'all mad my Detroit Lions had the great draft, better than any team in the NFC North. and
Oh,
free
shit.
agency.
Who's this Detroit Lions person, man? Because they
Got
had
the number one cornerback, Jeff
Yo,
Okuda,
Fraser, get your guy.
and the number one rated running back, DeAndre.
I listen.
Ricky Bobby said,
Man.
I'm taking the bottom seriously. Detroit Lions said Kenny G is better than Odell Beckham Jr.
That's true.
Oh my
Bobby
lord!
said Tom Brady
That's true.
beasted us in overtime. New England defense far and away better than Bob Sutton's defense. McCaffrey the beast. AB said Mahomes teams. Ricky Bobby said, bro, Kelsey haters everywhere. I'm not a Kelsey hater.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kelsey haters.
Let me ask this Detroit Lions fan a question.
Dalton said, what's up, TC?
Don't
Detroit Lions said McCaffrey best running back in the NFL, him and Derrick Henry. That's the one thing he said that ain't had nothing to do with Detroit. I'm gonna have to applaud him for that.
Yeah, but then he threw Derrick Henry in the top 2 conversations.
Yeah,
so
that's.
it was hit
Robert
and
Leader
miss.
will finish. Robert Leader said the Lions will finish last.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That Detroit guy.
I'm a Detroit Lions. Yeah, pretty much.
That Detroit guy must have spiked his Fago, man. He must have spiked his Fago.
Dalton said the Detroit Lions fan is Euro Jackson.
Look.
Kellen said, please like and share the show. Girl said we need to go watch film. Aaron Pop said, what's up, fellas? And that's it. So let's go with it, Ron. Ron's hot top.
No, I'm answering my question first. You guys can wait a minute.
Oh, my bad. You just take over the show.
How many
Ricky
playoff
Williams,
appearances
the host of the
did
show.
Kenny Galladay have? He's better than Odell Beckham. Next question. You are crazy.
You're a Giants fan.
No,
He is better than
it's nothing
Odell.
to do
What
with
has
being a
Odell
Giants
done
fan.
since New York?
I'm stating
Nothing.
facts.
Wait. Did you just ask how many playoff appearances does Kenny Galladay have?
Exactly.
That was your argument to Odell versus Kenny Galladay?
He plays for the Lions.
Right.
No, but Odell only got one playoff appearance, and he
It's
looked
still
like
more than Kenny and Galladay's got.
But he looked like baby poop in that one playoff appearance.
He didn't look good. He did not look good. And I've been watching Odell Beckham.
You said that's the only argument you have.
That was probably the worst game of his career, to be honest with you, in college or the NFL.
I just want to know, why would you bring that up?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the next one?
I don't know.
What's the
He
question?
stopped the show for that too. He stopped the show for that too.
What head coach can turn the New York Knicks around?
A man named Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there you go. You just gave it.
What was the question? What head coach can turn the New York Knickerbockers around?
I got the answer. Dennis will probably say it first, but
I'll give you one right now.
Say him. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Mark Jackson.
I was just thinking that. Get out of my head, sir.
Dennis is gonna say Brett Brown.
That would be a good deal for them.
I think I think he's even though like his tenure in Golden State was a little controversial towards the end, a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors and stuff, but I think overall, I mean, he kind of set that team up and Kerr just kind of took it to the next level. So, I mean, I don't feel like there's a lot of good coaches out there, but I think he has a proven track record, and I think he deserves a second chance.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
I think Tom Thibodeau. I saw they were looking at him, and I think Thibodeau kind of got unfair treatment when he got chased out, but I think he was one of the better coaches, and he just succumbed to LeBron's drama train.
Well, I'm going to say this because I want him off our team, Ryan Saunders.
Come on, leave Flip's little seed alone, man. Leave Flip's seed alone, man.
Penny Hardaway.
I gotta go. I still gotta go. I still gotta go with Mark Jackson. Okay, are you talking about coaches that are actively coaching, or the free
Just
agent ones?
anybody?
Anybody. Any head coach.
It could be somebody in here.
Is that a way of saying me?
What head
All
coach?
right, since you want to be serious, Rudy Popovich.
Okay, that was a good one.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Right.
Or Philip Jackson.
What do you think, Dennis?
No, not Phil Jackson. Nah, not Phil Jackson.
No.
Phil Jackson already, yeah. Phil Jackson's relationship is tarnished with the
No.
Knicks.
I'm
Sure,
if I'm picking a coach, I'm gonna go a little bit different. Maybe they go get them a female coach in New York. Maybe they start something different because it needs to be a change in New York from the top. So
Well,
I was
Best female
hold on.
wait a minute,
coach.
wait a
Let me
minute.
finish it out. Let me finish it out. It needs to be a change in New York from the top up to the top to the bottom. So maybe if they had a female head coach there, maybe things in New York will change. If I'm picking a female head coach, I'm looking at the one that actually was coaching the Spurs. I think he's Greg Popovich's assistant.
We're talking about Becky Hammond.
Yeah, and the other one that I would look at. I'm being a homer because she's from Philly. But I'm looking at Dawn Staley. It's
Yep.
another one I'm looking at.
She
Okay,
coached
I'm
team.
gonna
She
I'm
coached
gonna
Team
ask you
USA.
this.
Right.
Look,
The only way I think it'll change is somebody buy the owner out.
I don't think he's gonna sell a team. You know how much money? You know how much money he making with a losing season? Like I think he had about 20 losing seasons,
Right.
yeah,
And
close to it, somewhere close to it.
yeah, he's still making bank. I
And
mean,
it's still one
it's
of
I
the
still
mean
richest
one of the
it
top
just
franchises
it
in the world.
just said
The New York
Becky
Knicks.
Like some franchises, they could lose and they still gonna be a rich franchise. Like
Chicago.
no. I gotta make sure I say this right. Like the Washington Hogs until they get a name. They're the
Red
Hogs.
Tails.
They're the Hogs on Talk US Tuesday.
Okay.
So until they get a
Red
name, they're the
Tails.
Hogs.
Now, do you think the basketball players need to put stuff on their jerseys?
Yeah, I think that's a nice ordeal that they sitting there putting the Black Lives Matter or Go Vote, something nice on their jersey. I think that's nice.
I mean, I don't. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I think you give them the option to do it, and if they don't want to do it, then they don't do it. I think basketball is that type of league where you have options to kind of speak out in that. So I mean, if you want to do it, then you do it. If not, then you don't do it. So I mean, I'm all for it. But
What
I
do
mean,
you think,
I
Dad?
don't think they should have to do it, but I'm all for it.
Right.
Dallas? What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think. Um, yeah, I mean, with it being the NBA, yes, I would say no with probably leagues like NFL and MLB because it seems like they have more restrictions and stuff like that, and there's obviously been more issues with those leagues when people have tried to do it. But the NBA is that type of more free speech league, and as long as the message is nice and positive, and you're not trying to start a whole heap of crap,
Wow.
then I don't really see anything wrong with it if it falls within the reasonable guidelines.
Pauline to Pauline. What do you think?
My stance has always been, and this is kind of universal answer, I think in every sports league, just as long as it abides by safety standards, as long as it's not, inappropriate, why can't athletes in pretty much any sport wear what they want to wear, accessory wise, like little patches on their jerseys, on their helmets? I never understood it. If it's not hurting anybody, if it doesn't cause even, like, because I'm talking about accessories too, even like arm wear, whatever, and people it's just weird to me. I mean, like UFC used to put stuff all over their trunks. They used to have all these different like logos and all that stuff all over their on the trunks. So I don't know. I never understood it, and I think if they want to wear a positive message on their jersey, I think they should be allowed to.
What do you think, Richie?
I don't really care either way. They can put their names on there, or they can put their Black Lives Matter, whatever they want to put on it. Because at the end of the day, it's still who the person is in that jersey, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Okay.
Frazier, what's up?
Now, do
Personally-
Devin
Wait. Frazier.
Oh, my bad.
Frazier, go ahead.
All right. Personally, I mean, it's a catch-22 to it. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, but I mean, I think we as the world already know what's going on. I mean, it's kind of getting one of those things where, let's just play the game. If that's what you're going to do. I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but I mean, I'm not really sure if it's that serious at this point to have, for them to have their, to make that kind of a statement. And they've been talking ever since everything's been going on anyway. So,
Dallas?
I went.
He already went.
All right, let's go ahead. Next question. Oh, wait a minute. Let me read these comments. Kellen Lane said, it's not the coach, it's the owner. Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. I think that's a good idea, too. Dalton
did
said
say that.
coaches get unfair treatment. Until he sells the team, they'll be the same boat. That was Ethan.
Me.
Ricky Bobby said Bill Murray, Toon Squad. Kellen said, please don't talk about the Knicks. And okay, and the New York Knicks can't be the high school team or a middle school team or a college team.
That's deep.
Ricky Bobby said I agree with Pylon, and Melissa said I agree with Pylon as well. As long as it isn't a safety risk, who cares?
Right.
All right.
Can I say one quick thing also about that? I think nowadays in sports, you should have the right to, as much as you possibly can, advertise yourself as an individual, because everything a lot of the time, money wise, is based on individual, like how much money you bring in a lot of sports, honestly, how much you can demand on a contract. And you should be able to make individualize yourself, like have these, because some people like players who have like these cool things about them, like something they wear or something they do. Like you should be able to have that, or something like that.
So they should be able to brand themselves, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I just want to say specifically how they would like brand themselves.
I think basketball is the number one brand in sport. Hold up.
No.
No, but he's talking about like other ventures that they got going on. Like
think about it. Think about the guy.
Dame's a rapper.
Yeah.
Dame. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Like if he wanted to wear like a logo for his like him anything rapping or whatever, he wanted to let him wear it. Who gives a shit?
Right.
All right, let's go.
Like even with like the cleats, the big things that like the NFL with the cleats, like why they would ever not allow people to wear whatever cleats they wanted, I never understood that. And then they turned it to like you can only wear the real ones you want.
The NFL is different. I said the NBA is the one that lets you do it.
Right.
But then you start talking. These guys get all this media from those weeks of like wearing those cleats because like Stephon Diggs is getting hype and like all these guys are wearing dope cleats, and that brings your value.
They also get fines too. Like Peyton Manning was going to get fined after Johnny.
That's what I'm saying. Why? Who cares?
Peyton Manning was going to get fined after Johnny Unitas died because he was going to wear Johnny Unitas high top cleats.
Yeah, the whites.
No, the blacks.
Or the blacks, rather. The blacks. Because that's what the big thing he was known for, Johnny U. And that's like his guy growing up.
All right, let's go ahead.
Okay. David Henry signed his tender. He got 10.2 mil. Do you think he should have got much more?
Dallas, what you think?
No, because I think running back is an overpaid position. I'm not saying running backs are a dime a dozen, but that's not a bad argument. But the point with the running backs is there are elite running backs. The value of having an elite running back cannot be overlooked, but we've also seen Zeke held out for a big deal. He hasn't really produced much since then and had his down years. The Texans, I can't remember if they gave a big deal to Arian Foster and he was the big thing. He had a relatively short burst of a career. Running backs tend to not have a lot of longevity, and you should avoid paying them really top dollar when it seems to be that running back by committee or a grouping of a bunch of average to good backs can be the way to go, like what Kansas City had with Damian Williams and the other guys that they had. So I think 10 is about right for Henry. Maybe even a little too much, honestly.
Ooh.
I think he should got 15 myself. So
Don't
he
use up all your money.
wait a minute.
Wait, can I say something, right? Can I say it? I just got to ask you. Dallas, did you watch the playoffs last year?
I was at the wild card game where he ran through the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
I was there.
Do you remember what seed he was in? Remember the seed? What seed was he,
I
Dallas?
remember that we had 4 or 5 guys.
No, you're not listening. What seed was Tennessee, Dallas?
Last, right?
They were the 6th seed, right? How did Tannehill beat you?
No.
Did the defense beat you? Did the defense beat you?
Their defense is good.
Didn't help.
Well, it's not actually their defense.
Did the defense beat you is the question. Not that their defense is good. Did the defense beat you? No.
It was the defense, the coaching, and
no.
Stop.
Stop.
It was that three. It was those.
It was
those three factors.
Henry. Stop.
It was those
Y'all
three
gotta stop
factors.
that. It was Derrick Henry that beat the top 3 defense in the NFL. And then he went to go play. Hold on. Then he went to go play the number 1 defense, and he beat them too.
Yep, I'm not denying that.
So wait a minute. A Tennessee team that if I asked you in August of last year, what do you think about Tennessee? You would not be saying, "Oh, they going to the AFC Championship game."
I mean, so who's up next? Cool. What's up, Kellen?
It's up to you. Go ahead.
He came for the running back conversation. There he is.
No, it's on you, Donovan.
All right. I would have to disagree with Dallas a little bit. I think he was a little bit underpaid. I think he was pretty much the factor on why they made it that deep into the playoffs. I mean, if you look at it, he pretty much carried them on their back to get to that level, and I think he's proven it. And I think Tannehill got paid a little bit too much based off of what Derrick Henry did. So you can balance it out, give a little bit less to Tannehill, who pretty much just proved it in like a little short time span, whereas Derrick Henry's kind of been there and he kind of helped them through the playoffs because Tannehill didn't have to do too much if you think about it.
Yeah, he did set it up and he kind of plowed through, so Tannehill didn't have to do much. The only point I'm making here, not saying that Derrick Henry's overrated. I do believe he's within the top 5 of backs in the league right now, and he was a reason that they made it a reason. But their defense was no slouch either, and the passing game they got from Jonnu Smith, AJ Brown, and the other Corey Davis, those 3. They just tend to have short careers. Running backs do when they're used as much as Derrick Henry was, and generally their prime is a lot shorter and their ceiling gets hit a lot quicker with the mileage that gets put on them, especially a big guy like Henry too. So I think you just have to be wary paying them that much.
Ricky,
I got a question for you, Dallas.
There you go.
I got a question for you, Dallas. Didn't Logan Ryan finish that game out for you guys? Do that last pick 6 to end the game?
Technically, yes.
There you go. See?
What's up, Mookie?
What's up, Mook?
Y'all wanna?
What's your take on this?
Hold on. We got people that ain't speak yet. I'm trying to get
I know. I'm just. We got new people in, man. So
Quickly.
Movie's the man on the radio show, man. Listen, I gotta come on there one day, but I want to make sure I come correct. Can I get a pylon to pylon?
Yes, sir. The Titans, they found their coach, and they've proven now that they can take a team very far around building an offense around Derrick Henry and having a good defense. Pay the man.
Wait.
Let me
wait. Hold on, Jared. So you telling me the same coach that was on the hot seat week 4?
Yeah, absolutely.
QB change, and now he's
a lot of new pieces. Yeah, and he has Tannehill.
On the hot seat week 4. Who was on the hot seat?
He wasn't really. Mariota was always on the hot seat going in.
Oh. Yeah,
the coach was on the hot seat.
No, I know. I'm saying
they were talking about firing him.
But they planned to have Tannehill be that starting quarterback all along when they picked him up. They were never planning that. They let Mariota have 2 games where he didn't even do that bad. He just didn't really do anything over the top. He really didn't. He was efficient in what he did. He just wasn't crazy productive. That's all it was. And he had like 6 or 7 touchdowns and 2 picks. I mean, it wasn't terrible. And they just immediately, they're like, all right, you usually don't see that with a guy who still has that hype. I guess a little bit of that hype, just with the injury concerns.
Okay, Frazier, what do you feel?
Pay the man.
That's all I
He
say.
was one of the reasons. He's one of the reasons why you there. Pay the man.
Well,
He earned this money. He earned this money.
And you can say running back
that's
health, 2-3 years. That's it. That's all. Give him at least 3 years.
They pay him 10.
That's the real
it.
reason.
Yeah,
why I
okay,
think
and
they should-
until then, you pay.
right,
Yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
real reason
He
I
should be
think that
paid
you
top
should go
5
get
running
paid.
back money.
Yeah.
That's the real reason I think running backs should be paid. They shouldn't get that rookie scale money. They should get paid, right after the first
Helen,
year.
turn up your mute. Oh, there you go.
You know what I said. I ain't gotta say it. You know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we know what you said.
Yeah, we
But
know what you
when
said.
when you said that Ezekiel Elliott got paid, which was last season, he held up, got paid, and yet he still rushed for over 1,300 yards. How is that a bad year? Dallas, I want to say.
I didn't think he rushed for over 1,300 yards. He had a big season before he got paid.
I know
It
he rushed
doesn't
for
seem
13
like
because I had him in my
done
fantasy.
that
I know
bad.
that for sure.
Let's check that.
Game made the playoffs.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. I want
I'm
my
not
fantasy.
saying that Derrick Henry shouldn't
Hey,
be paid or backs shouldn't in general. They should be paid,
all
but I
that
think it's
rushing
an
for what?
position.
He did all that rushing to get his numbers. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's the Dallas
And-
Cowboys problem.
and-
Ain't
and-
no
Yeah.
problem.
playoffs.
Wait a minute, Mookie. What you gonna say?
What Dallas was still talking. What was Dallas? Dallas got let's let Dallas finish this joint up. Finish your joint up, Dallas.
My bad, Dallas.
Okay, so he did have over 1,300 yards. I shouldn't have made the Ezekiel Elliott comparison. And I guess people don't really like my take on the running backs. I mean, they should be paid, but I don't know. Maybe I have a little bit of Belichick in me. Maybe I'm kind of cheap when it comes to certain positions. But I feel like running back, I'm not saying it's not an important position, but it is. But we've seen other teams that use a running back by committee or multiple rather than
Go ahead
one
and say it,
star.
Dallas. They're a dime a dozen, man. Say it. They're a dime
They're
a dozen,
not
man.
dozen.
Dime a dozen. Go ahead and say it, man. Go ahead and say it, man. Say it, Dallas. Yeah, dime a dozen. They want to say that shit. I've been saying it for months. They don't believe me though. Running back is dime a dozen. You can run it back anywhere. You can run it back on a corner. No, you can't. No, you can't.
You can't have just anyone. You gotta have the right mix of backs. You have the right mix of talent.
Depends on what you're looking for in your scheme.
The same guys do the same thing. One could do.
But the question was asked. The question I was asked: should Derrick Henry get paid? What?
Should
No, I
he
feel like
had got
10 million
more
was fair.
money?
No, I feel like 10 million was fair or a little more. I'm just not a guy who thinks that you should pay a running back that much yearly because of their short career spans and the mileage that they get to put on them.
That's the reason why I think they should be paid.
It also depends what kind of contact you're getting and what kind of mileage.
You look at a
Derrick
running
Henry
back-
isn't getting hit. He's putting the hit on.
Yeah, the running back is taking more punishment than anybody. Because he's the one with the ball in his hand. He's the one that got to put all this pressure on his knees without hoping that nobody hit his knee. First of all, so they're doing a lot of cuts. It's a lot of wear and tear. That's why a running back's expectancy is low. But whose fault is that? It's these coaches' fault. It's the league's how they devise the game. All right, so you should pay those running backs. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody had a problem when it came to Christian McCaffrey.
I did. I thought the Panthers were stupid.
But
that's a stretch.
I'm worried about a major injury for a position. And
that's
I'm not
what it
gonna
is,
pay
though.
base money to a position
But that's what
gonna
it is.
get me.
Well, I tell you what. 2 years from now, we're gonna talk about this, and that $10 million that a running back is getting is gonna be peanuts. You know what I mean? It's gonna be peanuts.
No.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Wait to see what Saquon Barkley contract is gonna be.
You want to know what I think offensive-wise?
He's gonna have $100 million contract. Saquon Barkley.
Yes, that's the way the league works. But quarterback is your highest paid position, and you got to invest money in the O-line because any amazing O-line can make
anybody
running.
to me, and I think they should change this rule for competition purposes. If you led the league in your position in your contract year, then you should get the highest, whatever it is. If the quarterback shit is $23 million, then whoever was top in their position that year under their contract year should get the highest. Whatever, okay, so this year might be the running back, next year might be quarterback. But if it's $20 million for that year on a franchise stick, whatever, that's what they should get, no matter what they did. Derrick Henry would lead the league in rushing. Like he should be compensated for that. Alone.
Yeah, but then it ain't free
Contract.
enterprise.
So I
You won't
mean,
leave any room for negotiation. That way he
just look
can't
at
get
this.
no more
Like, look
money
at the
later on.
contract that Patrick Mahomes got. Come on, man. $450 million.
That's no. Do you think his agent? His agent was the one who pulled that.
Right,
the reason
right.
why
But I think running backs should get their work because they take a lot of pound on their bodies. Now, if y'all would have just gone on ahead and gave Le'Veon Bell that contract, he'd still be in Pittsburgh. They still be contending.
But listen, that's not all about it. That's not all it. I'm gonna let you go
The
ahead.
focus should be on the years of the contract.
It's a
not-
pass,
not
Kellen.
the money.
it's a passing league now. It's not a running league no more. It's a passing league now. So how is it on a running back to take all these beans and all this? It's a passing league. That's why that's what the
Well,
quarterback got all his
it
money.
is a so who's blocking for the quarterback?
Offensive lineman. Ain't no running backs.
Okay, the running back's got
It
to
ain't
block
shaped by
for
a body,
him.
that's for sure. It
The
ain't
running
it
back's
ain't
got to
shaped
block
by
for the
body, that's for sure.
quarterbacks, bro. That's why some teams do it by committee. Because Devin Singletary is not going to be back there to be blocking nobody on third down. That's a fact.
That's what we're gonna have. We got them tight ends and on tight ends.
'Cause, I
Devin
mean,
Singletary can't block.
everybody is doing running backs by committee now because you can't put all your cookies in one basket. Your running back go down your season shot. Ask San Diego Chargers when LT went down. They had no running back.
Down they had Michael Turner.
Huh? Right.
Yeah, Michael Turner.
Michael Turner, exactly. Who? Michael, yeah, but
And Darren Sproles.
And Darren Sproles, like they had 3 running backs on that team.
it don't matter. But when a kid is not prepared and you invested in this guy, he didn't got the bulk of those reps, then he goes down. It's a different game plan now. You know, they ain't game. And Michael Turner had great years though. Don't. He made it bad. You know what I mean? Off of LTs, you know, he made
but he came to Atlanta.
But it is still a shoot your season if your man
Where
got
careers
it out.
die.
That's why.
It's
That's
a
why
passing
I
league.
always
Why do I
go
need a
back
running
to
back though? It's a passing league. Why do I need a running back? I got mobile quarterbacks that can run the ball. Why do I
running
need a
back
running back?
controls the
You
game.
can still design an
Listen,
offense around running.
Your running back controls the
passing
game. Running back controls the game. If your offense is high power, they jump out on them. I ain't gonna gunslinger. My running back is gonna kill the clock.
Who was the MVP this year? Who was the MVP this year?
Hey Kellen, can I ask you? Kellen, can I ask you a question? You remember that Super Bowl that you watched, and you was sitting there looking at it. You was like, "Damn, Kansas City losing by 10 points." And why did San Fran lose that game? It's a passing league. That's why.
If the Titans win with a passing
They
game
would have
plan,
ran
do
the
they beat
ball.
the Patriots?
There would have been no time for Kansas City to come back. But since it's a
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. If you got a great defense and you got a hell of a running game, that's enough to win Super Bowl, bro.
That's enough
to win a Super Bowl.
I've seen a coach.
The Giants beat New England every year. The Giants beat New England every Super Bowl.
Hey Mookie, I got one for you. I've seen a coach take a dominant defense and a running game and a quarterback nicknamed Butt Fumble to the AFC Championship game twice. But don't nobody in Buffalo like this coach. But I ain't
don't talk about him.
I ain't gonna say no more.
Don't talk about him.
Let me go to my next
coordinator.
Yeah, we don't like that dude, but still,
he's not a coach. He's a DC.
Man, man, look at the Baltimore Ravens. They first year. Who was the quarterback? Dilfer. Jamal in that defense, bro. Oakley almost was the MVP of that game.
But Trent Dilfer was a quarterback on the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won the Super Bowl.
Right. But
he won that.
Brad Johnson. It was worse. It was Brad Johnson.
That was Brad Johnson.
Even
I
worse.
thought it was Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer was on the Bucks back when it was the Yucks.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was terrible ass Brad.
John Gruden.
Brad Johnson was the Bucks. Dilfer won with the Ravens.
I know that Bucks
The other
championship
quarterbacks
team.
do a touchdown pass to themselves.
Let me say this. I know that Bucks championship team well, okay? Trust me. I know them.
No, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about.
Let me read these comments, man. Honestly, I'm not sure it's too much. I think 12 to 15 million makes more sense. Y'all need to put some respect on Derrick Henry's name. Tennessee is trash without Henry because they have a quarterback.
Right. Pay that man 15. He should have got 15.
Not the guy.
They're not trash. They're one of the best defenses in the league.
To me,
He should have got 15. And if McCaffrey averaging 15, then that's what Derrick Henry's contract should have got for a franchise sticker. Should have been 15.
Ricky Bobby said last year in August, I said, watch out for the Titans. They're going to sneak and make some noise, and y'all laughed at me.
Laughing at y'all.
Let me see. Melissa said, back at you, Dennis. Jim Caldwell was an okay coach. Did he win the playoffs? Nope, he did not.
But he
Jay
got
said,
him
hi,
there.
Dennis. Does it really
Go
matter?
way
All teams
back.
and every team in the NFL is better than Detroit.
That's true.
I tell you what,
Ricky
Detroit ain't
Bobby
been
was
good
the
since
team.
Jim Caldwell left. They ain't been good since Jim
Right.
Caldwell left.
Melissa said Mookie reminded me of Lil Wayne. Ricky Bobby said,
So you're the
Marcus
American
Betts,
rapper, huh, Mookie, or what?
Marcus Betts said
What's in your
Yuri
cup?
Jackson put something on it. Marcus Betts said Yuri Jackson put a jersey on it. The Lions win in the North.
He always got a better jersey, man.
Reducing.
Stop being hey Marcus, stop being out here jockeying for jerseys, man. Trying to find you a lick or something.
He might as well.
He's doing it.
He might as well. That's
Like a
easy.
better jersey with this guy.
Aaron Pop said he's the Titans offense. Pay the man. Ricky Bobby said, yeah, okay, dollars. Also, tires are overrated. I'm just going to run into the rims. I'm not going back and forth on that. Dollars doesn't know how to act. Running backs is the last to protect the quarterback on the passing downs. Henry is the Titans offense. Pay that man. Ricky Bobby said, don't go there. Your Lions ain't nothing to my team.
Okay, they get one Super Bowl and I think they're all hot crap now.
Bro, you telling me D. Williams didn't keep KC in that game? Come on, Dennis. No,
he didn't. He got that one run.
No.
That he was really supposed to run out of bounds, but nobody tackled him. He just stuck his foot up and just forget it, score. You know what I mean? So I mean,
y'all got to start being honest with yourselves, man.
That's what that was to me. But he was balling, but that I mean that was Mahomes right there.
Oh, let me see how much time we got. Hold up.
We got.
Oh, all right, we cool. All right.
I got one more question.
Okay, shout out to the OnPoint Network, and this is Talk Your Wish Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you think the Kansas City Chiefs will have another good season and go back to the Super Bowl?
Go ahead, Kellen. Sell them.
Get him, Kellen.
They could be good in Buffalo. I bet you that.
Right.
I bet we
Get him, Kellen.
Hey, I ain't answer all that. I said another good
No. Let him talk. Let him talk, Ryan. Let him talk. Go ahead, Kellen.
It's Talk Your Ish. I came back Talk Your Ish, and we're gonna smack them in Buffalo. I guarantee you that. I put a jersey on that on the SEC anyway. Who want that bet?
Marcus, you called you out for a jersey.
We're not supposed to.
So let's see, Mookie. Let me guess. You riding with Kellen?
You riding, Mookie? Tell me you riding. Just tell me.
Hell yeah, I'm right. I mean, I don't understand why y'all don't think.
No.
Put some respect on our name. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait,
like,
I did not say that. I like Buffalo.
No.
Buffalo.
Ron, I did say that. I do like Buffalo, but I did say that. Y'all ain't doing
I
shit.
said
we gotta stop looking at names and then all of a sudden saying, "Oh, they're gonna win because it's Kansas City versus." Buffalo.
No, I don't think
that's how y'all feel.
I did not say that, Moot. You ain't never
So why when I say that the Bills is going to win, it's some extra stuff to that. Oh, yeah, y'all go. So explain why y'all don't think that.
Yeah, I say that, Moot.
This is not the Buffalo. Nope, this is not the Buffalo Bills show. But I will join in next Sunday
but
to
the
let
game
you
is
know.
at Buffalo though. That's the big difference. It's at Buffalo. It's Kansas City at Buffalo. We gonna smack them boys in Buffalo. Y'all keep saying we gotta go to play 49ers, play these boys. They got to play us in Buffalo.
Respect that defense, bro. Y'all gonna put some respect on that defense, man.
They
They ain't play us last year.
You
They ain't
want
play us
respect
last
from me?
year. They ain't play us
When you
last
win a
year.
playoff game, then come talk, bro. Seriously, I'll give you a lot of credit when you win a playoff game.
Make a playoff game. We can
Who
talk,
said
bro.
that? Who said that?
A Giants fan.
Who?
Nobody care.
Last time we played the Giants, we beat
in
y'all.
the regular season. So get over yourself.
We beat y'all. Last time we played the Giants, we beat y'all.
Ooh, 14 points. It really
It don't matter.
right?
Yeah, I don't care.
No. Okay, Dallas. What you say, Dallas?
I think, I see them back in the Super Bowl. It's honestly for me, it's still either the Ravens or Kansas City for me. I think at this point they're just so far above. Both those teams are so far above where the rest of the AFC is at. I think the Chiefs they've got their franchise quarterback. I just saw that they're closing in on a long-term deal with Chris Jones on the D
I
line.
don't believe
If
y'all.
Frank
I
Clark
don't believe it
intact,
out here. Everybody ride this wave. It's
their
making me
defense was good enough. Their
It's
defense
making
was
me
good enough.
sick. Y'all can't believe y'all just ride this Kansas City wave like
No,
that,
you
man.
know, I
Patrick
don't like
Mahomes,
Kansas City. I'm
Patrick
a
Mahomes
Patriots fan.
fooling y'all
I'm a
people.
Patriots fan,
Patrick
and I'm
Mahomes
still giving
fooling
props to
y'all.
Jason.
Patrick Mahomes is fooling y'all out here, and he's worse than
Fooling y'all.
it's worse
I'm a
than
Patriots
y'all
fan, and
just
I've
running
watched
with him.
Patrick Mahomes. The guy is
Bad.
incredible.
It's bad. Y'all running with him. Okay, let me tell you this.
Mook, you gotta let people talk, Mook. You gotta let people talk, Mook.
Wait, talk.
You too aggressive, Mook. You too aggressive. 'Cause I want you to hear what I got to say, because that's really gonna piss you off. But I'm gonna let Pylon go right now.
Billy, y'all got your own problems.
Pylon to pylon. Yo,
What's the exact question?
do you think Kansas City Chiefs will have a good season and go back to the Super Bowl?
I think they're the front runner, but it could. I don't think it's a complete race in either conference who's going to be like for sure in the Super Bowl. I think there's a top level tier of in each conference of teams that could make it there. I think the Titans could have a chance. That defense is super slept on. I don't understand it. It's one of the best in the league. And Derrick Henry's he's a monster. So
they just need a quarterback.
Frazier, what you got, Frazier?
I gotta stay neutral with this one, because I mean we see a lot of teams who seem to be hot, going into the season, and all of a sudden cool down. So I mean, we might see history repeat itself again, especially after that big ass contract.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Donovan.
How you feel, Donovan?
I mean, they're in my division, man. So, I mean, I'm hoping they don't go to the championship, but I mean, I don't think they still got Patrick Mahomes. They didn't, not much change. I mean, they lost a little bit, but I mean, the core players are there. So, I mean, I have to leave him as a front runner. It's just all based on health at that point. I mean, pretty much Patrick Mahomes' first 2 years, he's pretty much accomplished so much. I mean, as a starter, So, look at his track record. I would say the safe bet would be that he would be back there, but things happen in football, like injuries or whatever. So, but if you take the injuries out and you just bring all those teams back, then you have to say Kansas City would probably be there.
Okay. All right. So now it's on me. Mook, let me just get this out, and then I'm gonna let you go ahead and cuss me out afterwards. I'm gonna say this, man. I had Kansas City, going back playing the Eagles in the championship, right?
That would not
I
happen.
have to say that after hearing what I heard today, I think the AFC is in it for a rude awakening, led by a 6'5" quarterback in the name of Cam Newton.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
I'm listening.
I'm here to say it because ain't nobody else gonna say it.
Yep. Go ahead.
The Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs will come down to them two in the AFC Championship game.
See, that way you messed up at then.
I'm here to say it.
I feel Dennis.
Wait a minute.
You could call him Medea. You could call him the cross dresser. But what you can't call him is, you can't ever say you seen this man play pissed off. I ain't never seen this side of him, man.
I seen it.
I ain't never seen him play pissed off.
I
He always smiling.
I seen it.
Oh my God.
And how far he got.
Ron, you gonna say you seen it? We've never seen him play pissed off. He's always smiling.
Wait a minute. He was not smiling after the Super Bowl.
That's after. You never seen him play yet. Again, we've never seen him play pissed off. Again, I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
Never seen him play pissed off.
Okay. What you got?
Go ahead, Mook.
Don't get him one time, Mook.
No, I'm saying no.
So you want me to believe that Ernesto was a stoolie because Sosa said so?
I want you.
You bought that. You bought that because Cam Newton said he's pissed, or the league is scared, or the league is terrified because Cam said he pissed. You ain't
gonna do this to me. All right, I'm not Frank.
Come on, bro.
You gonna treat me like I'm
y'all
Frank.
not speaking logic right now because Cam Newton said y'all never seen me play pissed off before on Instagram. Then all of a sudden they're in the AFC Championship. Let you tell it. That's what you telling me right now. That's what you just said.
That's right.
You gotta be out of your mind.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you that the Buffalo Bills don't win the division. They ain't won it since '95, and I'm telling you that the New England Patriots are winning the damn thing. That's what I'm saying.
Let me get to New England later.
Put a jersey on it.
Let me get to New England later. Let me address Kansas City since y'all riding that way first.
I ain't riding that way.
Hold on, since y'all riding Kansas City way first.
Put a jersey
Let
on
it be known that we're talking realistically.
Realistic.
So they're going back to the Super Bowl, do all this glamorous things again, right? So that means that Patrick Mahomes got to do these glamorous things again. They got to come from behind in the playoff game to go to advance. They got to come from behind again in the Super Bowl to win. You think he's going to keep doing that? Weakest link, hold on, ain't nobody addressing the weakest link in the room still that they ain't never fixed is that defense.
I said
right?
that.
So okay, y'all really think that because Patrick Mahomes why they might not money that he's gonna he can emulate everything he did again if he's gonna have to come back behind from 20 points each game? I'm telling you now, they wouldn't have did that against us last year. If we would have took care of business against Houston, boy, I swear we would have not. They would have never came. We'd have never allowed them to come back for 24.
You can't say that with nobody done that against y'all.
You can't say that. What you mean we can't say that?
Wait a minute.
This is what I'm saying.
Hold on.
No, we talking facts. Hold on. Let me finish with numbers. Let me finish. Let you talk. Talk to him. Now, we talking facts. We talking numbers. All right. Look, our defense was top 5 in the league. That has not changed. And since I know defense really wins championships around here, as far as I'm concerned, very seldomly a guy like Patrick Mahomes can make change of that. That's rare. That's rare. At the end of the day, that defense ain't changed, bro. That defense got better. All right. At the end of the day, our offense did too. And let me address that Cam Newton situation. Don't you think he pissed off? Okay, the same defense that he practiced with in Carolina that made him pissed off is in Buffalo right now. So you think that Mario Addison gives a rat's about him being pissed off? You think Josh Norman give a rat's about Cam Newton being pissed off? Do you care about AJ Klein giving a rat's about Cam Newton pissed off? Do you care about Coach McDermott gives a rat about him being pissed off? Do you think Vernon Butler give a rat about him being pissed off? Do you think Starla Tulate give a rat about Cam Newton being pissed off, bro?
You named a lot of bums, all right? Just let you know that.
Right, that don't care about Cam Newton being pissed off.
You named a lot of bums.
That don't care about Cam Newton being pissed off.
Let me give out the facts that you want to sit there.
This is facts.
If we would have beat Texas, you had Texas beat. That's facts. You had them beat.
We lost that game offensively. We lost that.
You in that defense. Let them come back, okay?
We lost the game offensively.
Your fault. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody. You had them beat.
Young team.
Okay, so you wouldn't have beat the Kansas City. Let's get that out the way. Okay. You wouldn't have beat Kansas City because you just had them.
We're going to find out week 4.
I ain't going to do
we're going to find out week 4.
I'll find out the playoffs.
We're going to find out week 4. That's just a tester. That's just a tester. I'm
not listening.
Ain't nobody on Kansas City check digs. That's all I'm caring about.
No, they don't have no corners.
Who's checking digs?
That was the biggest mistake they made was going to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire instead of in the corner. Well, listen, we ain't got that much time left because I would.
All I gotta say one thing on that whole situation. To be the man, you have to beat the man.
That's it.
And nobody has
beat the Patriots in 25 years. Do something. Do something.
We will when you stop hating.
I'm about to make me the new Buffalo hater. Do something.
We will when you stop hating. You riding waves.
There's more trash talking going on in Buffalo than winning. Do something.
Oh,
Hey,
Oh.
how do y'all talking,
Bring him
man?
out.
If you want to know how to be a champ, come to Philadelphia.
First of
You want
all,
to know how to beat the Patriots? Come to
y'all won.
Philadelphia.
Y'all won
I'll teach
on
you how to
behalf
beat
of the
the Patriots.
Bills. Y'all won that Super Bowl on behalf of the
No,
Bills.
we ain't win. No.
Stop
We ain't win
faking,
shit
bro.
on the Bills.
Okay,
On
who?
You want to
behalf
know
of
how
the
to win Super
Bills.
Bowl?
Yeah,
Come to
yeah.
Philadelphia.
Schwartz was our
I'll teach
defensive
you how to beat the
coordinator.
Patriots.
Schwartz was
Half
our
our
defensive
team,
coordinator.
Ron Darby.
Y'all let him
half our
go.
team over
Ain't
there.
my fault.
Frank Reich was our
So what you gonna
quarterback.
say? We didn't have Rex Ryan, or we stole him too
He
from
was
y'all?
bad.
You want to know how to beat? You want to know how to beat the Patriots? Come to Philadelphia.
He
Come
was
to
bad.
Philadelphia.
He was bad.
I respect that. I
Uh,
respect that. I respect that. I'm putting a big man.
How do y'all talking
Yes, sir.
trash?
Y'all
Like
won
y'all
with
doing
Bills
too,
players
man.
though.
Bring him
Y'all
out.
won with
Bring him
Bills
out.
players,
Bring him out,
bro.
show. Then you
This is
over
real
here
culture
talking
with
about some
Tuesday.
Y'all
star.
won with Bills
Kool-Aid.
players and coaches,
Oh, he's
bro.
softer than than baby poop. Everybody trying about no Starlet too
Y'all
late.
won that with a backup bum.
He ain't softer than
Won it with
Sean
a
sperm.
backup
Kim is a
bum.
champion.
And the rest were Bills players.
At the end
Nigel
of the day, you call him a bum, and he's
Corey
a
Graham,
champion.
Darby,
All
all
right?
those boys are Bills players, bro.
When you want to know how to
Those
beat
Bills
the
players,
Patriots,
y'all needed
come to
them to win.
Philadelphia.
Y'all needed Bills players to win.
Don't matter. It don't matter what you say. It don't matter.
It was the truth.
Y'all still ain't beat the Patriots.
It's the truth.
We taught them Bills players how to beat the Patriots. That's what we did.
And they still ain't done it.
Gilmore. All them boys from Buffalo. The rawest players in the league, man, played in Buffalo
And they
first.
still-
Sad.
Listen, man, you say what you want.
Dennis.
Is that
All
Buffalo
I want
culture,
to say
man?
is,
It's for the culture, man.
Sad.
definitely for the culture.
But we all right though. We getting things going, and y'all gonna put some respect on the name this year.
Buck Flair in the house. What's going on, Buck Flair?
I didn't say nothing but Buffalo.
Oh shit, Buck Flair got my shirt on. Look at that. Ignorant thing in the house, baby.
Woo!
In the house. Woo! Woo! That's what it's like to be a champion. You hear that? Woo!
Buck Flair.
Ignorant Thinking podcast, man. We everywhere.
What's up, Mookie?
What's up with it?
Tell him Buffalo's going to win that division.
They ain't
Man,
winning.
it's gonna be Tampa Bay and the Bills in the bowl.
That's right. I love it.
No, don't make me choke, dog.
I don't know what y'all drinking.
No disrespect to the Falcons. No disrespect to the Falcons. But hey,
Oh, ain't nobody care about no. Ain't nobody
Hey,
care.
hey,
You want to learn how to beat the
you watch-
Patriots? Come to Philadelphia.
You watch your mouth now.
What's up, Ron?
Don't be that bust. Y'all tell that.
hey, y'all just signed another Buffalo Bill again, Jason Peters, bro. Y'all doing this with Bills players.
Oh man, say what
Y'all
you
doing
want,
this with
man.
Bills
Listen.
players, bro.
Hey, you know what's up? You know what's
Come on,
crazy?
man.
When he retire, guess what he gonna retire with?
He gonna retire Eagle.
Exactly. Because where he spent his best time at, as an Eagle.
Hey, they knew what to do with him. We had him. I mean, we groomed a lot of people for a lot of NFL teams.
I want to, at the end of the day, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, man. Special shout out to Mookie Hawkins from what Mookie exactly? What radio station are you from in Buffalo?
I'm with Warfo 1080 Power 96.5. We 1080 on AM. We 96.5 FM.
All right.
Every Sunday,
y'all
6
tune
to 7.
in. Every Sunday, 6 p.m. in Buffalo. Make sure y'all tune into that. We got Dallas Oliver in the building. Dallas, thank you for coming out. Kellen for the culture in the building. Kellen, you ain't got your shirt on? Kellen, you supposed to have your shirt on, man. I'm supposed to be 3 for 3 today, man. God damn, man. Kellen for the culture came out, man. Ryan Thomas came in the building as usual, man. The greatest co-host of all time. We got Buck Flair in the building. Buck Flair, what's going on, baby? Ignorant Thinker Podcast t-shirt. They going for sale, baby. $25 a pop. They selling like hotcakes, as you can see. Donovan Samuels in the house, man. Donovan straight out of L.A. The Lakers are not winning it, but I love you, man. The Lakers are not winning. And Frazier out of Cleveland. What's going on, Frazier?
No, I'm in Columbus, but you good?
Frazier's in Columbus. Now, what's the name of the station?
The Buckeye State.
What's the name of the station that
And
you
I'm a
like,
Michigan fan.
Frazier, what's the name of the station?
Mine is No Filter Productions. We own that. WUDG here in Columbus, the underground, home of the unsigned artists. I'm on that. I'm also
Y'all ain't signed
on,
my nephew, man. Y'all ain't signed my nephew then. What's going on?
Oh, what's up, man? Hey, look,
my nephew in Columbus right now, Mark Mills, man. Money making beats, man. On the east side, East Haven, man. What's up?
Oh yeah, that's right around the corner from me, East Haven. That's what's up.
Yeah, come on, man.
Shit, I'm also on Urban Trendsetters Media. I do news radio for them, so I'm pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I want to give a special shout out to Ricky Williams, man. Thanks for coming out, man. We got a baseball show coming to y'all shortly with Donovan Samuels, Ricky Williams, Dallas Oliver, and a couple other people are going to be in there. Make sure y'all tune in for that. Listen, On Point Network, we want to thank y'all very much for having us here. God bless. Good night.
With them fly ass chicks who paint them pretty ass lips. With them trap boys out doubling up on bricks. For positions like